This is Nationwide, reaching you on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Lami Ali. You're welcome. President Muhammad Buhari has assured Nigerians of adequate security as security agencies work round the clock to ensure the safety of lives and property of the citizens. This is coming against the background of security alerts issued by some foreign countries to their nationals in Nigeria. The president urged citizens not to panic, but remain calm, as Nigeria is no exception to having terror attacks listed in foreign governments' travel advisory to citizens. The president's statement also pointed out a high likelihood of terror attacks in many Western European nations, and the advice to their respective citizens for travel to one another's countries contain the same warning. While urging security agencies to be extra vigilant, President Buhari commended their efforts for the recent turnaround in the nation's security and not to let down their guard as the festive period approaches. He expressed optimism that the nation will emerge victorious after the current challenges facing it, giving the ongoing efforts on security and intelligence agencies with the active support of the civilian population. Meanwhile, President Muhammad Buhari is back in Abuja after a 5-day official visit to the Republic of Korea. The president arrived in Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport about 6 o'clock Friday morning. He was received by his Chief of Staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello, Inspector General of Police Usman Al-Ali Baba, Director General, Department of State Services Yusuf Magaji Bichi, and other senior government officials. While in the Republic of Korea, the president attended the first World Bio Summit aimed at boosting global cooperation in the development of vaccines in preparation for future pandemics, reflecting on lessons learned from COVID-19. He also met separately with both the Korean leader, Speaker of the National Assembly, and captains of strategic industrial concerns. Consequently, a multi-million-dollar quick fix project agreement was signed for the rehabilitation of Kaduna refinery between the NNPC and South Korea's Daewoo Engineering and Construction Company. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, described the visit as highly successful.
Worth its weight in gold. The main purpose of the trip was to take part in the World Bio Summit. Mr. President made his point there. He spoke to the world about the inequity in vaccine availability and distribution after the COVID pandemic came. And he stressed the need for Africa, Nigeria particularly, to be involved in the manufacture of vaccines. Then you will see that apart from that main purpose of the summit, he also held many other bilateral meetings. He met with the president of South Korea, he met with the former Secretary General of the UN, he met with Daewoo Industries, he met with Samsung Heavy Industries. It was a very successful trip. Most heartwarming, perhaps, was the signing of the agreement between Daewoo Industries and the NNPC Limited on the turnaround of Kaduna Refinery. That same Daewoo is working on Warri Refinery, so they are also getting engaged with Kaduna Refinery now. And the target is that before the middle of next year, that refinery will be bringing out fuel for Nigerians to use. So I think by and large, it was a very successful visit.
In other news, additional 700 megawatts of electricity will be added to the national grid from the Zungeru hydropower plant as work on the project is being rounded off for inauguration in the first quarter of 2023. Minister of Power Abubakar Aliu is keeping close watch on the project to ensure timely delivery of one of Buhari's legacy projects in the power sector. Joshua Ojito has the details.
A milestone for the generation arm of the power sector in Nigeria, as Zungeru hydropower plant comes on stream with 700 megawatts of electricity. 3 out of the 4 turbines in the plant
Great, inshallah.
Minister of Power Abubakar Aliyu is keeping contractors on their toes, insisting December deadline is sacrosanct. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Now, the Ajaokuta Steel Company will not be functional under the present administration. Minister of Mines and Steel Development. Nigerian Mining Week coming up in November. Mie Ogidi reports.
But for more than 40 years, Ajaokuta Steel Company would have long become the mission of P. Clark.
There's something in Yoruba mythology they call Abiku, something that recalls.
October 27, 2022, the Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Olamileko Adebite, finally surrenders.
Sincerely, I will not sit down and lie to you that we'll complete Ajaokuta before we leave office. But the process to making sure Ajaokuta has a solid future has started.
It is obvious Ajaokuta Steel Company, a burden in waiting for the next administration. We will complete Ajaokuta Steel Company, a big question that can only be answered by a big heart. Mie Okede, NTA News.
Now, many SMEs are yet to recover from the effects of COVID-19 pandemic, but all hope is not lost as the ECOWAS and the European Union are re-strategizing to position businesses from the West African sub-region for more acceptability and competitiveness in the international markets. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim tells us more.
COVID-19 might have abated, but the impact will remain indelible, especially on the economies globally. And Africa sits on the top of this table. While many businesses have gone down the drain, some are still struggling to stay afloat. Now, the West African Competitiveness Program of the ECOWAS, funded by European Union and partners, are meeting with West African economy policy makers with a view to improve performance, growth and contribution to industry. The focus is on intra-regional trade to build expertise in selected value chains.
We know how important it is that our products, our businesses are able to produce products of quality that are affordable not only for the national, the regional, but for the international market.
So we are looking here in particular at mango, cassava, textiles and garments, and ICT to achieve greater economic integration in the region, better competitiveness within the region, within Africa and globally.
With 120 million euros in support from the European Development Bank, this initiative seeks to revitalize African SMEs to compete favorably in the international market. Salwa Khalil, NTA News.
Assets valued at more than 1 trillion naira have been recovered in the last 7 years through non-conviction-based asset recovery, a strategy designed by the Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption. Chairman of the committee, Professor Isse Sage, stated this while giving the scorecard of the committee since its inception in 2015 to combat corruption. Professor Sage says apart from capacity building, strategies have been designed to assist anti-corruption agencies to recover monies and property and secure convictions.
When an asset has been forfeited, what happens to it? Nigerians are very suspicious. Oh, they are sharing it. People have divided it amongst themselves. It disappears. Nobody knows about what happens. That has not been true since this government came into power in 2015. That has not been so. Initially, many of the forfeited projects were plowed into the social development projects very faithfully, and now being used for major physical projects.
The fact that we are seeing some agencies of government delivering very well in Nigeria is an indication that corruption has been controlled or largely eradicated in those agencies. You can look at NDLA. Just 3 days ago, they have confiscated over 200 billion worth of drugs. It's not by coincidence. Why was it not taking place in the past?
He suggested synergy between the legislature, judiciary, and the executive to reduce the menace to the bearers. Now, Nigeria has released a national policy on waste battery management to mitigate the impact of substandard waste battery handling and promote local and international investments in recycling facilities in the country. Onangie Fineface has the story.
Batteries contain heavy metals such as mercury, lead, cadmium, silver, nickel, and lithium, which, if not properly handled, can cause a number of adverse health problems, including fetal damage, anemia, kidney, and brain damage. Approval of a national policy on waste battery management by the federal government is therefore to mitigate these environmental and health impacts and pave the way for investments in recycling facilities in the country.
And therefore ensures that these wastes are managed properly, including collection and recycling, in order to have a clean environment and achieve maximum economic benefits without jeopardizing the lives of the citizen.
The policy seeks to foster a safer environment for people working and living around vicinities of waste battery collection and recycling facilities.
As it provides the necessary regulatory framework to ensure that the management of used battery in Nigeria is done in an environmentally sound manner.
We've also found metal smelting companies in the country who also take up lithium-ion batteries and crush them as part of their metal smelting activities. So it helps us to eliminate the problem of lithium-ion dumping in the country.
Nigeria's policy on waste battery management is developed in collaboration with the European Union and the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development within the framework of the Nigerian Energy Support Program. Onengie Fineface, NTA News.
Michael is in Lagos with more reports. It's over to you, Michael.
Thank you, Lami. Investors and other players in the technology ecosystem are attending a two-day dialogue on the establishment and implementation of innovation centers for global competitiveness and productivity in southwest Nigeria. The dialogue, organized by the Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation in conjunction with the Strategy Implementation Task Force for Presidential Executive Order No. 5, seeks ways to put the country on the global arena through innovation. Ruth Ario Samuel reports on the event ongoing in Lagos.
Nigeria, through the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology, is pushing hard to move national economy from resource-based to knowledge economy. This dialogue, which brought together inventors, manufacturers, tech experts, and other actors in the innovation space from the Southwest, is another step in that direction. Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Adeleke Mamora represented, said the ministry is working out a new institutional and organizational arrangement through the establishment of technology and innovation centers for the country.
It is important for all stakeholders participating in this dialogue to identify important enhancing factors for effective regulation and credible certification and accreditation for the intervention of the Presidential Monitoring and Evaluation Council.
National Coordinator, Strategy Implementation Task Force Office for Presidential Executive Order No. 5, stressed the need for constant interaction between stakeholders.
This Executive Order No. 5 program, which the President signed into law, is promoted as an instrument to make possible the idea of people getting into the center of Nigeria and do more for Nigeria.
Executive order, we go a long way in assisting entrepreneurs, particularly those in the MSME space.
The two-day Southwest Dialogue has as its theme achieving Nigeria's competitiveness and improved foreign exchange earnings through science, technology, and innovation. In Lagos, Ruth Ario Samuel, NTA News.
Lagos State government says it will continue to invest in initiatives and projects aimed at safeguarding lives and property during avoidable emergency situations across the metropolis. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu gave this indication after inaugurating 4 new fire stations in different local governments in Lagos. Musa Tolia completes the reports.
Fire disaster is an unexpected incident that leaves ruins and anguish in its trail. An improved response time to such emergencies to reduce fatalities and losses is feasible only when there is constant equipment upgrade and reduced response time of emergency responders. To demonstrate commitment to improving firefighting response time, 3 new fire stations were inaugurated by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in Ebute-Lefun in Lagos Island, while Oniru and Ajaokuta fire stations were inaugurated virtually. The Fire and Safety Service headquarters in Alausa has also been upgraded.
We're building investment, we're encouraging foreign direct investment, and we're building on public assets. This cannot be left to chance. We cannot do all of these things and fold our hands and not have the ability and the capacity and the capability to respond to emergencies when they do occur. The target is to localize the presence of fire stations in every of our 20 local governments in the entire Lagos state.
The new fire stations are equipped with state-of-the-art facilities to make the environment conducive for the emergency responders.
Whenever we had any fire incident or any major emergency situation, we were going to corporate entities. But today, I can say proudly that Lagos has evolved.
For this fire station to be in my locality, it is a plus to the development around Victoria Island.
The inauguration of the fire stations is part of the implementation of the comprehensive review of Lagos State Fire Service operations carried out in 2020. In Lagos, Musa Tolian, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages, and when we return, Nationwide continues from our Kaduna Network Center, where Salamatu is standing by. Please stay.
The Nigerian Television Authority NTA, in collaboration with Havel Corporate Concept, presents Beyond the Debate, a series for all the 18 presidential candidates in the 2023 general elections to present their manifestos and visions to the Nigerian public as a social contract. Beyond the Debate will broadcast live on the network service of the NTA and stream on YouTube and other social media platforms beginning from 10th November 2022. The publicly signed manifestos by the candidates will be uploaded on this portal, www.summitofpoliticalparties.org. For further inquiries, please contact Dr. Padanga 08033173488. Howard 08033121022.
think about hospitality and affordable luxury away from home, then you talk about Sharon Ultimate Hotels, a secured and serene environment that offers kingly services such as 24-hour room service, impeccable security with CCTV surveillance, parking lots, free Wi-Fi internet service, free complimentary breakfast, restaurant that offers continental and local dishes, well-equipped fitness center with instructors, swimming pool, 350 capacity multipurpose hall, laundry service, pastry corner, mini mart, and our suites are breathtaking. For reservation, locate us at plot 1710, Tafawa Balewa Way, Area 3, Garikia, Abuja. Sharon Ultimate Hotels, the ultimate place.
The Nigerian electoral system is seemingly simple, yet may be complicated for some.
It's for them to come and tell us what they have.
Running an election is equivalent to what? A job application.
I want them to identify the issues that may plaguing the common Nigerians.
PDP should focus on PDP and APC should focus on APC.
Let's show you what an election is all about as Nigerians pick the next president, governors, and legislators. We interrogate their plans, question the rationale, and review the prospects. Join us, the ballot.
Thanks for staying tuned, and you're welcome to Kaduna on Nationwide. President of the Islamic Development Bank Group, Mohammed Suleiman Al-Jassus, says Nigeria has a significant potential of becoming one of the leading economies in the world. He was speaking in Kano shortly after a meeting with the state Deputy Governor Nasiru Yusuf Gawuna. Abdullahi Mustafa reports.
The Islamic Development Bank Group's chief came to Kano from Abuja after a meeting with Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and Minister of Finance Zainab Shamsuna Ahmad. The visit is in furtherance of his consultation with officials to enhance cooperation between Nigeria and the ISDB within the framework of its new operational strategy. Mr. Al-Jasser told Kano State Deputy Governor Nasir Gawuna that the Jeddah-based Islamic Development Bank Group has financed more than $1.8 billion worth of capital projects in Nigeria across sectors of education, health, agriculture, ICT, and infrastructural development.
I think it is an economy that is significant, but also has a more significant potential than it has already achieved. We are very happy to be partners with the government and with the communities in Nigeria.
The ISDB president had earlier inaugurated a veterinary reference laboratory and distribution of empowerment packages to women and agro-input stockists. He was also at the palace of the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Kano, Kaduna State University is back to life after 8 months of desertion and now bubbling with academic and other activities. Adamu Sunday, who visited the university main campus in the metropolis, reports that students are in high spirits while the university authority is putting finishing touches for full commencement of lectures.
Kaduna State University was a shadow of itself due to the strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. The suspension of the strike and resumption of academic activities has reunited the students as they cluster together while some revising their notebooks, preparing for examination. The students are happy that school is back to life.
I feel so happy and I feel so comfortable because the school has resumed.
It's okay, but let me believe everything will move well with Juta. But it has not been easy.
We just finished our IT. We are doing our defense reports for IT.
Beyond academics, other businesses and social activities within university campuses that were earlier grounded are now picking up.
Business has started picking up. We thank God for that. Not like before. At least we can even sell more than what we normally sell like 3 months back.
You can see how well busy the environment is. We are earning some income that we supposed to earn for over 5 months back, 8 months back. I mean,
The students are hopeful that the government and ASU will come to agreement to avoid future strike. Adamu Sunday, NTA News.
On our packet from here, Lami, take it from here. Good evening.
Many thanks, Salamatu. With the implementation of the new Electoral Act, there is hope that the outcome of the 2023 general elections will reflect the will of citizens. Chairman Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, Yaba Gisani, expressed this when a delegation from the ECOWAS pre-election fact-finding mission to Nigeria visited the council in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
An ECOWAS delegation and a fact-finding mission on Nigeria's preparedness ahead of the 2023 polls. Former chairman of Ghana Electoral Commission for 22 years, Kwadu Afarikian, led the delegation. Here, the team is interfacing with the umbrella body of all political parties to ensure politics is played according to the rules, because Nigeria is Africa's image at the global stage.
Dialogue among yourself, dialogue with the election commission. And if you go and ask something to be done, let's make sure that a lot of the parties agree that it will be done. And then you must have reasons why it should be done.
IPAC chairman Yabagi Yusuf Sani restated the council's commitment to credible elections and urged ECOWAS to continue to show interest to ensure that the elections were free and fair.
As IPAC, we're happy that INEC is doing quite a lot in terms of bringing to bear all that is required to ensure that we have credible, peaceful, reliable, and all-inclusive elections by way of digitalizing the process and by our own commitment. They have shown that they are ready to give their all to ensure that the outcome of this election is something that not only Nigeria, but Africa as a continent will be proud.
The council promised genuine collaboration with other stakeholders towards a better election. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Now, political parties and candidates making negative comments during campaigns are to be arrested, while those who engage in vote trading during elections have EFCC and ICPC to contend with. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu gave the warning at an interagency consultative meeting on election security.
Beyond vote buying, there must also be decisive action against negative mobilization, incitement, and violence during the electioneering campaign. It is exactly 1 month since the commencement of campaign by political parties on 28 September 2022. Yet, the incidence of physical attacks on supporters and destruction of campaign materials across the country is worrisome. We should tackle this smoke before it snowballs into a major inferno. The effective enforcement of our electoral laws is the best way to deal with the menace. We should work together to ensure the arrest and prosecution of violators of the provisions of especially sections 92 to 93 of the Electoral Act 2022.
While security agencies strategize new measures to counter the rising wave of violence in the polity, the NSA hope that the second phase of the signing of peace accord by the National Peace Committee, scheduled for January 2023, will be fruitful in de-escalating the violent trend.
Twenty-nine political support groups of the All Progressives Congress in the South local government area of Plateau State say they are resolved to give maximum support to Tinubu Shettima candidature for total victory during the 2023 general elections will bring economic prosperity to the nation. This was at the APC stakeholders engagement to mobilize support and ensure victory of the party during the polls. Bilkisu Nuhu reports.
Ahead of the 2023 polls, supporters of the All Progressive Congress came out in their numbers to show support
for the Tinubu-Shetima movement.
We are definitely going to deliver for Tinubu Shetima ticket come 2023. 10% of the state ITR to address the economic prosperity of the youths, the people with disability. If you listen to his programs, they are progressive, they are programs that are inclusive, they are programs that have human development elements.
Tinubu Shetima, they already have collateral. They have something to show.
Other speakers in their remark at the event lauded the various groups for aligning with the APC, promising that once successful at the polls, they will enjoy more dividends of democracy. They urge Nigerians to dwell on issues that will further unite the country. In Jos. That was Bilkisu Nuhu reporting. Now, effective communication among troops and the locals in their various areas of responsibility is critical for successful intelligence gathering. This was the focus of an intensive language development program. The 8-week capacity building initiative of the Nigerian Army Resource Center Abuja aims at enhancing troops' proficiency in different languages to entrench improved relationship with their host community and facilitate effective intelligence gathering.
The use of non-kinetic means in trying to curtail some of the security challenges bedeviling Nigeria. So we see language as a veritable tool that can be used. Apart from the intelligence value it gives, the additional language can also help you break into cultures and thereby gain acceptance by the peoples of Nigeria, and by so doing it will enhance your operational activities.
It impacts on the operation, you require so much of populace support in any operating environment. So when you are able to speak the language, you are more accepted and you are seen more as a friend rather than someone that has come to oppress them in their environment. So they readily give you intelligence, which will help us in the planning and execution of our operations.
My first month here, I had Hausa language, and my second month was Yoruba language. Meanwhile, I'm from the Igbo-speaking region. I was able to learn how to express myself in Hausa language, introduce myself, and some other things.
Participants were drawn from different units of the Nigerian Army. Now, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, is advocating more empowerment programs for youths by politicians in the build-up to Nigeria's general elections. This was his appeal when he received on oversight the Senate Committee on Army. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu reports.
As part of considerations in the Army operations records, the Chief of Army Staff discouraged politicians from distributing motorcycles as part of their campaigns. He also appreciated the committee for ensuring timely releases of funds to the Army in the 2022 appropriations. This, he said, has led to the successes recorded by the Nigerian Army in line with presidential drive to bring to an end of insurgency in the country.
And with your support, we are indeed improving. The results speak for themselves, but all courtesy of the support we got from the Supreme Commander-in-Chief, and indeed, in the North-East, like aware, the situation is continuously improving, and the surrendering is also continuing, despite other impacts of weather or season. And we still maintain our operation and our activities.
Identified issues that need more funding include stabilizing operations in the Northeast and accommodation for regular cadets, which the committee promised to look into.
We are glad to say that the committee and even Nigerians in general are satisfied with the activities of the Nigerian Army under your leadership.
A 1-minute silence in honor of the Nigerian military personnel who lost their lives in combat was observed. From the Army headquarters Abuja, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
It's time to join Kemi in Ibadan.
Reconstruction and rehabilitation of the 91-kilometer Osogbo-Iwo-Ibadan highway have been flagged off by the governors of Osun and Oyo State. Bolaji Akim reports that the joint effort is to ease movement of goods and services between the two states.
The Osogbo-Iwo-Ibadan road is one of the ancient roads that connect the two states together. The road, which was constructed in 1978, has been in a deplorable condition for over 15 years, which has led to loss of lives and human resources. The project, apart from boosting the commercial activities of the area, would also reduce the number of hours used from Osogbo to Ibadan.
It's a revolution of thoughts, of ideas. Because when this road is completed, our people will be able to travel with more ease between our two states, thereby enhancing trade and commerce.
The day around the boats and the island shall be adorned with a spectacular landscape. The second segment, which shall begin from the sawmill in Osun and then at the Oyo State boundary, with a total length of 52.6 kilometers, shall be of single carriageway with a width of 7.3 meters and 1.5 width.
The governors, however, appealed to communities and towns that the road will pass through to stay away from any act that will jeopardize the motive behind the reconstruction of the road and see the project as their own. From Idu-Osun in Osun State, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
Traversing the length and breadth of NTA stations across the country, Lady Engineer, as she is fondly called, Omolola Olorode, rose to the peak of her career to become Zonal Director, NTA Ibadan Network Center, where she bowed out in style after 35 years of meritorious service. Yemisi Ajaokuta covered the Thanksgiving event organized in her honor. Zonal Director, NTA Ibadan Network Center, after 35 years of meritorious service in the Nigerian Television Authority. In a short exhortation, Pastor Femi Aladesomi of the Global Harvest Ministries was full of thanks to God for his mercies over her life. Other highlights of the event include cutting of the cake, presentation of gifts and special renditions. Appreciating God for the journey so far, Mrs. Olorode could not hide her joy.
After 35 years, I have many reasons to thank God. I give glory to God. God has been with me.
Exemplary woman, integrity, steadfastness, commitment, amazing woman.
Colleagues and well-wishers have this to say about her.
Thank you for being so accessible. Thank you for being an amiable and a most loving God. Thank you for encouraging us and leading us all the way.
The retired Zonal Director has been a very good woman, very intelligent, humble to the core.
Engineer Omolola Olorode was born on October 5, 1963. She started a career with NTA on October 26, 1987. She rose through the ranks to become the Zonal Director, NTA Ibadan Network Center, in 2018 till her retirement, having bagged various awards of excellence in the course of her career in Ibadan. Yemisi Ajaokuta, NTA News. And that's it from Ibadan. Nationwide continues with Sadia in Sokoto after this break.
A new edition of TV Guide is out, featuring an impeccable personality with purposeful leadership. Alhaji Mohammed Meitakobi, the Executive National President of Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria.
In 774 local governments, will be able to put all our structures in everywhere. I'll be able to bring the Retians members together, to reconcile them, to come and work for the progress of the association.
Welcome to a world of fun and excitement as we also present an assemblage of professionals in the media space. Some compelling NTA programs, current trends in the fashion world, ICT, sports, entertainment, and lots more. Get a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Friday, November 11, 2022.
History will be made in the maiden edition of the Nigerian Marketing Awards.
Are you ready? It's happening live at the prestigious Eko Convention Center, Lagos, from 6 p.m. prompt.
It's a night where excellence and hard work will be rewarded in grand style. Be a part of this amazing experience. Save the date. The Nigerian Marketing Awards is internationally accredited by the Independent Awards Standards Council.
You think I don't know why you brought me to that place? You humiliate me?
Bala?
Hold me back there. Give me $2. Inspector Passos tell me it's broke. You only need a bit of tapping. Don't tell me you're one of those men that beat their wives.
Super story, super story, super story. This is super story.
Glad to have you join us. The federal government has demonstrated commitment on its promise of training and retraining of finance operators across the country to improve their competence and skill in the preparation and presentation of international public sector accounting standards. Director overseeing Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Silva Okelobo, stated this at a 3-day national training and capacity building for public financial management operators in the 3 tiers of government held in Sokoto State. Shehu Muhammad Detti reports.
The 3-day capacity building on IPSAS implementation for officers involved in the public financial management drew participants from the state and 23 local government areas. The training will provide a platform to educate participants on new global practices on transparency and accountability in public finance. Sokoto State is among the first to implement IPSAS, but not domesticated at the local government level. Director overseeing Office of the Accountant General, represented by Accountant General Sokoto State, Umar Balarabi Ahmad, said the adoption of implementation of IPSAS will enable the nation demonstrate high accountability and stewardship in the management of public resources.
We are able to move from cash basis to accrual basis. And the implementation has been very apt, and we are still trying to train our staff so that even if we leave, those behind us can be able to also continue with the legacy.
In their separate remarks, Permanent Secretary Sokoto State Ministry of Finance, Dahiru Abbas, and representative of the Accountant General Sokoto State, Musa Machido, while urging the participants to focus on what they will be taught, said the implementation of IPSAS in Sokoto has recorded tremendous success in the financial sector of the state. There were goodwill messages from key stakeholders. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And that was Dalhatu Abdullahi. The Nigerian Medical Association is set to provide free medical outreach to 6,000 patients in Sokoto State. The members were also tasked to be tolerant and caring to patients in line with professional ethics towards providing effective healthcare service delivery in the state. This was at the flag-off ceremony of Physicians Week 2022 held in Sokoto. Dalhatu Abdullahi again reports.
2022 Physician Week Open.
This is aimed at raising awareness on the need for governments to intensify efforts toward providing effective healthcare service delivery to the people. Chairman Nigerian Medical Association, Sokoto State, Dr. Umar Mukhtar said, Physicians Week is an event where doctors in Nigeria relate with one another, recognize their selfless service to humanity with a will to improve.
We have organized a free medical and surgical outreach where we intend to see about 6,000 patients and give them free consultation and free drugs.
Sokoto State Commissioner for Health Dr. Muhammad Al-Innami commended medical practitioners on their selfless service to the humanity, pledging Sokoto State government's readiness to improve their welfare. He urged them to adhere to the ethics of the profession.
We are going to review the comments and also as well as the contents, so as everybody will be carried along.
Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar, represented by the district head of Bodinga, Muhammad Bello Abdul Rauf, commended the medical practitioners and assured of support of the Sultanate Council for the betterment of the humanity. Vice Chancellor Usman Danford University, Sokoto, Professor Lawal Muhammad Bilbis, represented by Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of research, described the event as timely as stability in health sector is required in the country. A federal lawmaker, Dr. Balarabe Shehu Kakale, commended governments of Sokoto and the federal on their efforts in health, especially with budget allocation in 2023 to health sector, and called for more to improve the well-being of the people. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's now back to Lami in Abuja.
Thank you, Sadia. Now, from Sokoto, we move to Bauchi State, where the Northeast Development Commission has donated food and non-food items to Bauchi State government for onward distribution to victims of flood disaster in the state. Mahmoud Mohammed reports.
This is the handover of food and non-food items to Bauchi State government by the Northeast Development Commission. These items include rice, vegetable oil, mats, blankets, and clothing materials. Managing Director of the Northeast Development Commission, Mohammed Goni, says, the NEDC is committed towards providing support to victims of humanitarian crisis. The Managing Director also led the Commission's management on a courtesy visit to Governor Bala Muhammad, where the Governor commended the Commission and its mother ministry for rolling out life-impacting projects in the Northeast.
On our efforts, you can recall, immediately the flood incident started, we wrote a letter to the state government to see how we can synergize to contain the situation and provide preventive measures in the future.
Northeast Development Commission is one of the legacies Mr. President will leave behind for Nigeria. It is one of the best institutions created in order to deepen institutionalization of initiatives.
In Bauchi, Mahmoud Mohammed, NTA News.
Now, Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong says his administration will sustain the partnership with private sector in the provision of quality healthcare services to the people. This was while inaugurating a 50-bed capacity hospital at Kwande in Kwanpan local government area of the state, donated to the community by one of its illustrious sons, Godfrey Peters Bauer. Alisa Batu Andrew reports.
One of the basic needs of rural communities is healthcare services. In view of the need to improve the healthcare of his people, an illustrious son of Kwande built and donated an ultra-modern hospital equipped with state-of-the-art facility. Gomei's sons and daughters trooped out in their numbers to receive the donor, a worthy son of the land, Miscom Godfrey Peters Bauer Shutgrum. Inaugurating the hospital, Plateau State Governor Simon Bagolalong represented says, the donation of a health facility is an enormous contribution to the sector, which will bring about sustainable development.
I want to thank this family for the blessing that has been on them, and which they have also passed on to their fatherland.
I pray that God will let her live long, both our husband.
I thank God too much
for the thing when he do for me.
The donor, Godfrey Peters Bauer, and his wife say,
I feel satisfied that, after we serve God, we serve humanity.
We came to our community and we saw that the primary health care was not enough.
The Gumai chiefdom, among other dignitaries, appreciated the donor for such a laudable project. The facility is named after the parents of the donor, Peter Bauer and Anna Memorial Hospital, Kwandi, in Jos. Alisa Butkai Andrew, NTA News.
Time now for sports updates with Peter.
With few weeks left for the opening ceremony of the 21st National Sports Festival in Asaba Delta State, construction work at Main Bowl, Indoor Sport Hall and the swimming pool have intensified to meet the deadline. Some of the athletes are equally working hard in training in anticipation of the games.
Very ready. You can see a lot of the activities here. The works are going on. The places are being renovated. It's taking a new shape. I don't know if you have gone to the indoors. Everywhere is put in place. So they are very ready.
If you say good today, I believe most of us here, we are 85 to 90% ready.
Ahead of the under-23 national team second leg African Cup of Nations qualifiers against Tanzania, former under-20 national team coach John Obu has challenged the technical team and the players to go approach the second leg encounter at the Lekon Salami Stadium in Ibadan this Saturday with all confidence and pride.
If they can just keep their head up and do the best they can and win this game, we'll be able to go closer to our good representations in the Olympics.
4 newly promoted clubs from the Nigerian National League (NLL) to the Nigerian Professional Football League, including Doma United, Kanami Warriors, Bende Insurance, and Bayelsa United, will be inducted in Abuja on November 2nd, 2022. The head of operation of the league, Davison Omi, says the orientation workshop is to familiarize the new NPFL clubs with the operations and rules of the league. In tennis, Andy Murray is out of the Swiss indoor after suffering a straight set defeat by Roberto Batista in Basel. The former world number 1 lost 6-3, 6-2 to the Spaniard. With sport updates, I am Peter Oibo, NTA News.
And those are the stories on Nationwide for today. We thank you for watching. Join us at 7 and 9 for more reports.